He says we got to be careful. It's not just remembering the signs and the wonders and knowing Yahweh is close to you, but you now need to guard after. The whole point of him being close to you is to share the words so that you can start to do the words and that you can start to become blessed, safe, and changed. Did Moses take the tablets and pass them around? See, the Jewish community believes, it's kind of that sort of urban legend thing, but we don't know what really happened. They really believe that it was a full sensory experience at Mount Sinai. They heard, they saw, they felt, they smelled it, they tasted it. I mean, they believe that's why the people turned to Moses. We can't do this anymore lest we die. It's too fully overwhelming. I mean, could you imagine if you not only heard my voice, but you could taste it and smell it and see it and feel it all at the same time? We are unfortunately dealing with generational splits in terms of belief, observance, covenant. We're not a cohesive nation. We're like the family or tribe of Jacob or of Judah, or Abraham when he was a cohesive group with family members and children and grandchildren all traveling and living together. The tribal sort of way of living. We're not in that anymore. We get to a certain age and we just go off and do whatever we want. That's what we do. We get to that age, we don't care anymore what our parents say, and we go off and do whatever we want. You guys all did that, and your children are now doing it to you. It says, and you shall make them known to your children and grandchildren. But we don't have that society, that structure today. So I want you to be released from the pressure that if your children are already adults and they have children, and you raised your children a certain way and they are not easily departing it, that you are not obligated and responsible now to fix that problem. It's now his problem. Please don't feel you need to get in there, meddle with somebody else's family, because your children are no longer, under your authority. They have their own autonomy and authority. The main thing that we're teaching the children is what? To fear him. What's the root cause? Really seriously, the very simplistic root cause of all your issues, Torah-wise and vertically, is in not having a proper fear of Yahweh. I mean, at the root of everything that you possibly do wrong, it's not just because you prefer this and like that and have lust for this or lust for that or addicted to this. It's because you don't have a strong enough, appropriate fear of Yahweh. Now, there are those that will say the covenant is limited to the 10 words. No. But those are the ones he spoke to them, and then he stopped talking to them and only talked to Moses. Be careful, we're not misunderstanding what's going on here. He spoke to you out of the fire. You heard his voice, saw no form, only heard the voice speaking just the 10 words. So some out there are trying to teach, well, the whole covenant is just the 10 words, the 10 commandments. No. Some of you are outdoorsmen, and so you like to have something like maybe something that represents some animals like deer or other animals you might have a little figurine of and just stuff that you like to have hanging on the wall or whatever, or your, fish or something, or maybe like my aunt, she collects penguins, and so she likes penguins. The thing is, she's never bound down to them as far as I know. So some of you are all worried about all these things you collect. Don't worry about things you collect. There's a thing called art, and there are things called idols. And by the way, that may also be a hint to the fact that Yahweh hadn't stopped talking yet. Yahweh may tell them more things. He sent prophets to tell them things. Like when he told them through Jeremiah, look, Babylon is coming. Submit yourself. Don't fight them. This is part of Yahweh's plan. When Rehoboam wanted to go after Jeroboam and to bring back and restore the kingdom, and Yahweh said, no, this is of me. So he's telling him, guard yourself lest you forget the covenant of Yahweh. Whatever he says, whenever he says it. Does anybody think that Yahweh is playing games here? I mean, I'm not exaggerating when I say he's deadly serious. He is dead serious. He's dead serious enough to have Yeshua come and die so that we could have life, knowing we were going to screw this whole thing up, that we were going to do corruptly and need him to die. And actually, we did corruptly way going back to Adam in the beginning. That's why he was slain even what? Before the foundation. Why doesn't Christianity teach this? I mean, after all, they're claiming latter days, and they're claiming that they're in the end times, and they're claiming all these things. And in those latter days, you're going to obey the voice as originally covenanted. What were the terms? You agree to obey everything I say, to obey my voice. There it is. So in the latter days, what is Jeremiah 31 talking about? The same thing as Exodus 19. Same type of covenant, no different. As Yah is my witness, you will not get in trouble for doing more. But you could absolutely get in a lot of trouble for not doing it all. Be careful with buying into anybody telling you you don't have to do stuff. Oh, well, you know, because of here in Hebrews and this confusion about what was being talked about, and over here in Galatians, because after all, you know, whatever, that undermines everything that Moses taught us in Deuteronomy. Why do I need to spend 5, 6, 10 parts explaining somebody else's teaching on foolishness? Because there's a part of you that wants to believe them so you don't have to do everything.